it is a good price point. That is for sure. It makes you wonder why some foundations, La Mer, uh, are $125. Hi everybody, welcome back to Pavonine Studios Beauty and Art. If you're new here, my name is Amy. Welcome. Today I am going to do a couple of things. I'm going to use the Chocolates mini palette from Juvia's place, and this is what she looks like. I haven't actually used this. I've swatched it a little bit, but I haven't actually used it. So today I am going to be using the Profusion Feel Good Skin Longwear Skin Perfector. And I ordered this because apparently you can get it at some Walmarts, but the Walmarts close to me have not gotten this in, and only a couple of the ones that are close to me even carry Profusion stuff. So I've checked them and they didn't have it, and I was like, I'm tired of waiting. I just want to try this. This says hyaluronic acid, medium to full coverage, natural satin finish with an SPF of 15. Now, this is not a first impressions because I wore this the other day, and like a number of foundations that I have tried in the last week or so, this looks super dry on my skin by the end of the day. So I'm not really liking that. But I want to give it, I want to give it a chance. I want to try to find things that will work with it. I've prepared my skin. I've put lots of moisturizer on and an under eye hydrating primer thing, and I am going to go in with a little bit of the Indie Squalene facial oil, and I'm either going to put that on like as a layer, or I'm going to mix it into the foundation. I haven't quite decided yet what I'm going to do there. I'll figure that out when I get to that point. Let us not delay. Let us go ahead and get into the eyeshadows. And I'm wearing kind of a beigey top today. And let me get my hair out of my face here. And my lighting is a little weird today because the light that I have that's like directly above me, kind of in front and above me, was flickering like mad. And so I was like, nobody wants to see that. I don't want to see that. I'm going to prime with the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion, and this is in the color Eden. I saw on somewhere yesterday when I was surfing around, might have been on Instagram, it might have been on YouTube, that Natasha Denona is coming out with a new palette on when is it coming out? The end of October? The beginning of November? The end of November? Shit, I don't remember. But it looks really pretty. It has 3 multi-chromes in it, although she doesn't call them multi-chromes. She calls them tri-chromes or something like that. I'm like, whatever, just they're multi-chromes. And indie brands have been doing it for a while now, and I hope that it goes well, that it is a nice palette and everything, because I really want multi-chromes to be a little bit more available to the general market. Not that a Natasha Denona palette is like a general market kind of price point, because it's not. They're like $130. I'm just going in with this lightest shade in the palette here, just as kind of a transition type of shade. Not strictly necessary, but I thought, well, I'll just start there. I'll just try to I want to use like all of the mattes in here if I can, and then pick one of these shimmers for my lid. I'm going to grab the next color, the next darkest color, which is this guy right here. You can see that there's a little bit of kick up in the pan. And I'm just going to put this basically directly right over what I just did. I was feeling like I hadn't done a brown eye in, gosh, I don't know, a while. I've been living the colorful life lately. But last night I was like, I think I'm going to do something brown tomorrow. That's a very intense brown. And it's got a little bit of warmth to it, which I kind of like. Because the others, just kind of looking at them in the pan, seemed quite cool. I like that there's warm and cool tones in this palette. So I am meeting my sister-in-law this afternoon sometime to go over some pictures that I took to her. She wants to make a pin board for my brothers. I have twin brothers younger than me that are turning 50 this fall, in a couple of weeks actually. And so she wanted to make a pin board. And so I gathered up she wanted pictures of them when they were little and stuff. And so I gathered up everything that I could lay my hands on and took them to her on Sunday. And then yesterday she texted me and said I should have had you do this because I can't tell them apart when they're really little. So anyway, we're meeting today. That's a nice dark brown. That is this one right here. So you can see that this one right here is just the tiniest bit warmer. Maybe I'll put that on the inner corner and do kind of a halo eye thing. I picked up a smaller brush and I'm just gonna focus that a little bit more in this outer area. Or I think I'll pick up the other color and put that on the inner part of my eye and do kind of a halo thing. We'll see how that goes. Okay, so let's pick up this other color. I'm gonna keep with that same brush just because it's small and I gotta be able to kind of get in there and do my thing. I'm struggling a little bit because I don't have my overhead light on. And so I'm just struggling to see what I'm doing here. So I don't feel like those are a lot different, but they are. This one on the inner is just a tiny bit warmer. I think I'll go back into that really warm, the second color that I used, that really warm brown on this same brush. Maybe I'll mix it with a little bit of that lightest one and just kind of go around the edges here. Yesterday I was struggling with my eyeshadow a bit. I tried the Moira palettes, some of the palettes from Moira Cosmetics, and I had this like little dry spot right here on my brow bone, and it's still there, although I put a little extra stuff on it today in the hopes that I can get things to blend over it a little bit better. So I really don't think that had anything to do with the shadows. I think it was all about my skin. I'm going to grab a clean brush, or a relatively clean brush, and just kind of go around the edges here a little bit. And I have two shimmers to choose from. These two right here. So they're pretty similar. One's cooler, one's warmer. Let me see if I can swatch those for you. So that's them. I think I'm going to do the lighter one just because I've already got quite a bit of darkness on my lids. So I think I'm going to do the lighter one. That's pretty. Yeah, I like that. It did get a little bit of fallout, so I'm going to go ahead and tidy that up a little bit. This is why I don't know how people do their eyes after they do their face. I would be so frustrated, I think. And if I feel like I need to, I will go back in with some more of those dark browns. But for right now, I think that looks pretty good. Does that look pretty good? I'm going to go ahead and tight line with Urban Decay 0. I'm going to go ahead and do my wing liner with Urban Decay Perversion. This is a pretty new liner for me, but I do like it. Well, I think those are similar enough for what I need today. I'm going to go ahead and put on some mascara because I do plan to do some lashes and stuff, but all right, I'll do the lower lashes later when I finish up my lower lash line. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to the foundation here. So I picked up the color Fair 3 Cool Pink, and this is the color that I tried out the other day, and it seems okay. So I'm gonna, that's probably like way too much. Don't do that. That's the only problem with squeezy tubes. It's a little easy to get out too much. And I'm going to take my squalene oil and I'm just going to put, shall we do 1 drop? Maybe we'll do 2 drops. What could possibly go wrong? And I'm just going to smoosh those together on the back of my hand. I'm going to go ahead and pick this up on my Selena Gomez Rare Beauty foundation brush, and I did a little sort of mini brand review on Rare Beauty, and I'll try to remember to link that above. But I do like this brush. It's kind of an interest. I wish it was a little bigger. That's my only complaint, because it's got some, you know, body to it and everything. Depends on what you like in a brush, of course. But I kind of like the angles of it and stuff. So, and I have a sponge here, so if I need to, I will go over this with my sponge. And once I get this on, I'm gonna kind of let it set. Go make a coffee and kind of let it live for a bit and see how it looks before I go and the hairs, before I go and powder and stuff. The main thing is I really want to see if this will, if that oil will help this to look not dry by the end of the day. So right now it definitely looks glowier. So you can see that this has pretty nice coverage. It's looking a little heavy between my brows and stuff. So because it's looking a little bit, sorry guys, it's looking a little bit heavy, I'm going to go ahead and press that in with a sponge. Lift up any excess. Now let's see how that did. I'm going to go ahead and go make that coffee, and I will come back and maybe I'll try to do something with this hair. Maybe. And I'm going to let this kind of set down. And so remember this. Remember this amount of glow, just this level of shine, if you will. And I'm going to give this a few minutes. I'll go make that coffee. I will come back. We'll kind of reassess it. We'll decide then if I'm going to powder or do more cream products or whatever. I'm flying by the seat of my pants today, guys. I don't have a plan. I never have a plan. What am I talking about? All right, I'll be right back. Okay, I am back, and I've got my coffee in hand here. I feel like it has set down a little bit, but it is trying to crease right there. I think I am going to go ahead and set this. I'm going to just set lightly with my Bare Minerals Mineral Veil. And before I go any further, let me go ahead and put some concealer on. Blend that out before we get too crazy with the powders here. I'll go ahead and set with my NARS Crystal Powder. While I was making my coffee, my sister-in-law called me and postponed till Friday. So I didn't put anything else on my powder brush here. Let's go ahead and do a little bronzing action here. I'm just going to use this one that I have sitting here. This is the Salted Hot Chocolate from Missha. I got this at Yes Style. I used it in my video yesterday. I can always tell when I start using the same things in multiple videos that it's time to clean off my vanity. Because basically I'm just choosing from the top layer of crap. I think I can use the blush that I didn't use yesterday when I tried the Moira Cosmetics. I'm going to use Cheeky Romance today, which is kind of a peachy situation here. And the lighter one is a little shimmery and the other one is matte, so we're just gonna swirl them both together. Why not? I'm gonna go ahead and give this a spray with my Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Marine Boosting Mist, because I have it and it's almost gone and I want to use it up. Nice liberal spray there. Grab my fan. Okay, that's not dry by any stretch of the imagination. And I'm going to go ahead and do my brows while that's drying down. Let's go ahead and put something on these lips before they dry up and blow away. This is Dusty Mauve from Ulta Beauty. Nope, they don't have numbers anymore. Good job, Amy. I'm going to go over this with my Moira lip gloss in the shade Cheeky. Alright, I'm going to highlight with the cheek kit from Revolution in Fresh Perspective. And this is like a little quad. I don't know if they make this anymore. I actually think I got this at TJMaxx or Ross or one of those. And I'm gonna pick up all the colors. One thing Revolution does do well, I think, is highlights, generally speaking. Let's go ahead and finish up this lower lash line. I'm just gonna take a little tiny pencil brush. This is the Morphe E36. And I'm gonna pick up that sort of medium warm brown from the Juvia's Place Chocolates palette. And we're going to put that on the lower lash line, and then I'll probably deepen it up with one of the browns. Let me go back in with my highlighter and just pick up one of those for a little bit of an inner corner highlight, which isn't really my jam, but we're going to do it today. I'm going to take the ColourPop cream gel liner in the shade Swerve. I've not used this before. This is just the black one. These are pretty nice pencils, although I tried to use one of them yesterday. No, not yesterday, the day before. One of the sort of light ones, the pastel ones. I can't even remember. I think it was the shade Good Reef. And it's like this sort of salmony color, dry, and it kept breaking. Okay, I am going to put on my lashes and go do something with this rat's nest of a hair that I have here. And put some earrings on, and I'll come back and we'll kind of see what we've got going on here and see how the foundation especially is looking. The eyes, I mean, I don't have anything to complain about so far. They blended really nice, and those are nice. The mini palettes, if you haven't tried them and you're interested, they are really nice. Okay guys, I'm back and I've got my lashes on, and I'm just gonna take a peek at the foundation and see how it's looking. Right now I feel like it looks much better than it did the other day when I wore it without mixing anything into it like I did today with the oil. And I'm interested to see how this wears over the course of the day, because I think this is supposed to be a long wearing foundation. Let's see if it says anything. So this is the Profusion Cosmetics Feel Good Skin Long Wear Skin Perfector. And the other the other day when I wore it, it definitely had the long wear thing going on for it. But, there's not really any point in having something that's long wearing if it looks like crap by the end of the day or a few hours in or when you initially put it on. And I think that I am going to start mixing that oil or an oil. I just used the Indie Lee squalene oil today because I like that oil and I have it, and so why not? I want to mix that oil with the Moira foundation. I want to mix it with the Wander Beauty foundation. I want to mix it with the La Mer foundation. I just have all of these foundations that I've tried recently that are dry looking on my skin or dehydrated looking. Not so much in a like a flaky kind of way or anything, but more in a powdery way. It's kind of hard to explain, but I mean, right now I like the amount of glow that the oil gave me. I did powder because it was a little too much, and I didn't want the foundation to slip and slide or anything like that. So I did go ahead and powder it, but I tried to be very gentle with the powder, very minimal with the powder, which I usually am. Sometimes I get a little heavy-handed, but today I really tried to dial it back. So far it seems really nice, and I will definitely. Are you sinking into my lines? Yeah, a little tiny bit into my sinking a little tiny bit into my forehead lines. Let's just see if I can kind of pat that out a little bit. There's nothing on my sponge. It's a little bit damp, but that's it. Okay, so I am going to wear this for the rest of the day. I think it's about 10:30 in the morning, so I should be able to get in a full day wear test, and I will come back and I will tell you how things are going, and we'll also revisit the eyeshadows and see how they're doing, although right now I'm quite liking this look. One thing I like about brown eyeshadow on my with my eye color is that I feel like it really makes them sort of pop. That's one reason I like dark eyeshadow or bright eyeshadow, is because I feel like that. I feel like it makes them pop. I love it when I see other people do looks where they just have like this beautiful sort of sheer wash across their lids of some, gorgeous sparkly champagne color, and it looks fantastic. I do that and I just feel like my eyes just like shrink into nothing, and I just don't like that look on myself typically. But as far as like this brown really making my sort of gray green eyes pop, I feel like it really did that, and I didn't have any trouble blending, not even really over that place on my eyebrow or brow bone that is giving me a little bit of trouble right now because of its, I don't know, it's kind of dry. It's probably eczema. It's always eczema with me, I tell you. I'm going to go ahead and leave it there. I'm going to get a few pictures and I will come back in a little while and we will revisit this situation and see how things are going. All right, I'll see you guys later. Hey everyone, just doing my check-in. I have had this face on for about 8 hours and I'm a little tired, not feeling that great, so I'm going to go ahead and do my check-in now as opposed to in a couple of hours. So I will say that the foundation was helped a lot by putting the oil into it. It still wants to settle right here in my lines, and oddly right here, which lately has not been a trouble spot for me, because I've had Botox done, and so that's one of the reasons that I got or get Botox in between my eyebrows, is so that my foundation doesn't do that, because most foundations will do that if I, like previously. I don't think it's settled anywhere else. It looks a lot better around like the my nostrils in that than it did without the oil. So it's still a little bit heavy looking, but it doesn't have the sort of dry, cakey look to it that it did when I wore it previously without the oil in it. It feels better, than it did, but it does still feel a little bit dehydrated, which would probably be helped by just adding a mist of setting spray of some sort. I think that is the key, at least to this foundation. I think I'm going to leave it there as far as the foundation goes. For the eyeshadow, I mean, it looks great. I don't have any complaints at all. It stayed put and didn't seem like it wore away. I detect no creasing. So yeah, I mean, I didn't really think that the Juvia's Place Chocolates palette was gonna, crash and burn or anything. I really didn't. I like this palette really a lot. I'm a little mystified as to why they chose these two colors. Like I love them both. I mean, because they're dark, and that can be a really hard thing in a palette that has a supposedly dark brown, and you go to put it on your eye, and it's not dark. I hate that. Whatever the case, they put them both in there, and I like this palette really a lot. I think I'm gonna stop there, and I've got some other stuff that I need to do before I wrap up my day. And yeah, I'm looking. I actually laid down for a little while because I had a headache, and so if that's any like testament as to the wear of this foundation, then that's a good thing. I would think that would be a very good thing, especially for folks that need something that is long wearing and they have to wear a mask all day at work or something like that. That's a good thing to know. I'm fortunate enough that I don't have to wear a mask all day every day, thank God, because just wearing them on occasion is difficult enough. I don't know. Maybe you get used to it. I don't know. But I am not going to ramble on too much here. I just wanted to pop in and tell you kind of my final thoughts for the day for this foundation and this eyeshadow palette too. Although really this was about the foundation and how I could improve its feeling on my skin, hopefully with using an oil, and the oil did seem to work. So I wouldn't hesitate for somebody to try this foundation, especially if you're a little bit more oily. It is, I believe it's $8. I think it was $8 off the Profusion website, and I think they have a pretty good shade range, if I remember right. If you're on a budget, if you just want to play with something new, if you have more of an oily or combination skin type, if you're super dry, I wouldn't bother unless you absolutely plan on putting this with an oil, because I just think, based on my experience on my normal skin, I will not wear it again by itself. I would mix it with something that was too dewy, or I will mix it with something like the oil that I use today, and that would be it. It is a good price point, that is for sure. It makes you wonder why some foundations, La Mer, are $125 when this one is very, very similar as far as the finish of it, and it's $8. I'm not in the cosmetics industry in that way, and so I don't know. One would assume that there are fancier ingredients in the La Mer one. Let's hope so. Let's hope that people who buy that and love it are paying that price point because there's something exotic and good and different in it. All right, I'm going to stop there. I'm sorry my wear test was not just a little bit longer today, but that's how headaches are sometimes, isn't it? So thanks so much for joining me today. I really appreciate your time here. I know you have a lot of choices as far as what to watch out there in YouTube land. Don't forget to like and subscribe, ring the bell for notification, because I do upload a number of videos a week. And until next time, bye guys.